Good afternoon, everybody. Michael Zaharias here with the Florida Virtual Entrepreneur Center. I want to thank all of you for joining today's FLVEC webinar. This is actually our third webinar that we've done now in a new series, and this is offered exclusively for entrepreneurs and business owners that are a part of the FLVEC program, as well as bringing you featured speakers like Rosie today, who also are part of FLVEC. So thanks again for being here. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and that everything is going well in your world. So in the next 30 minutes, and I do mean in the next 30 minutes, I'm pretty religious about keeping us right on time and right on target, so you can get a little bit of knowledge and education, and then we can get back to our businesses. But you'll get to hear from me for just another couple of seconds, and then we'll go to our featured presenter, Rosie Paulson. We will have the time and opportunity for Q&A, so please be sure to use the chat box and submit those questions as you think about them throughout the presentation. And then when we, once Rosie's done, we'll go to the Q&A and answer those questions. So I'm very, very pleased today to present to you Rosie Paulson from Rosie Paulson Enterprises, headquartered in Tampa, Florida. You know, Rosie, as I mentioned earlier, is an entrepreneur who has a profile on FLVEC, and you can see her link the link to her profile there on screen now. And I spent a few minutes rereading her profile before today's webinar, and I included some words that jumped out to me, and I think maybe you've already seen or heard her passion for inspiring business owners to succeed. And I know that here in the next about 25 minutes, we're going to get to hear even more about that. So Rosie, from me to you, thank you so much for carving out a few minutes of your very important time to be here today with us to share your knowledge and inspiration.
Yeah, awesome.
So with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. And I just saw Dan too. So hello, Dan. How are you? So my name is Rosie Paulson, and I have been, I'm originally from Ecuador, and I've been living in the United States for 32 years. So technically I came here when I was about 18 years old. So that kind of tells you my age, although I don't look. Yes, I'm going to be turning 50 at the end of this year. But I am more of an American than Ecuadorian to me. The reason why my parents brought me to the United States, my siblings, is so we can have, and we can live the American dream. As a girl, sometimes in third world countries, you don't have the same edge or the same opportunity as male do. And that proved to be one of the cases, because I wanted to play soccer so bad. I wanted to be a goalkeeper so bad. And I actually wasn't able to do it because girls at that time did not do that. You needed to learn how to cook and clean. And trust me, you don't want me cooking and you don't want me cleaning your house. But when I came here to the United States, I realized that there was such an opportunity to just be myself. My parents were both teachers, so being an entrepreneur was kind of like nothing that, I ever thought about. But in 2005, no, 2003, around that area, I had a job that I was with for about 9 years, and it was a call center. But because of my daughter, she was having a lot of trouble in school, I needed more flexibility. So I left that world to come into the entrepreneur world. Well, actually not even entrepreneur, the corporate world of insurance and sales. And I did not really know too much about that. But I remember that I walked into a BNI meeting the first time in my life and realized that I was home. What everybody was calling networking, I was calling, you just tell your cousin and your family and everything about all these wonderful people that do business, and you keep them in business. After 4 years of being in corporate America, I found out, and I did Medicare at that time, Medicare insurance. I find out that if you do not want to work for one company, there's something called a broker. And I decided to venture on my own in 2009 and open one of my companies, Good Faith Insurance Services. The rest is history because my branding became very popular, but it was because what I'm going to teach you today, and that is to get involved and build long-lasting relationships. So the name of my presentation, go ahead, Michael, is the ACDC of quarantine. And that tells you a little bit about myself, but just go ahead and go to the next slide, Michael. I already told them a little bit about who I am. So the ACDC of quarantine, the first thing that I want you to do is you know, we were put out, I call it sometimes, we were put out in our little rooms. We were sent to our rooms because we needed to just calm down, take all the distractions away, and focus on what's important on us. So one of the things as business owners, we have to adapt. And I heard this quote that says, business owners are the powerful and adaptable leaders of the world. If you guys see the stories of people that what happened, well, they were not able to do business as usual. They think innovating, and they did things different, right? In my case, most of my business was a face-to-face interaction with people. When you come to one of my events, it's about how you feel, how I connect you with others, how I make you feel that you are important, because each of you is unique and each of you is important. Well, now I had to adapt and do it in a different way. One of the things that I kept on putting off in my business was going virtual, because I'm such a perfectionist that going virtual to me was scary. Well, COVID-19 did it for me. And now you see a lot of, I actually changed my Cafecitos with Rosie, which is one of my products, to virtual Cafecito with Rosie's. Well, so when people are talking to me, like, Michael, I see you sipping something. Now we're doing it virtual. So adapt, and that will help you. So think about ways that you can adapt. The next thing, Michael, on the ACDC is create. So at this point, there's really not that much networking we can do. I mean, if you're one of the lucky ones that can go outside and talk to other people, great for you. But most of us are now inside, and there's nothing we can do about it. I remember the first few days of my quarantine, I was literally crying because I'm a social butterfly, and I get the interaction of people, you know, like I get their energy, and I was like, it's about a week and I haven't seen anybody. So I didn't know what to do. But, you know, on that time is when I started creating. So one of the things that I did is I rebranded myself. I hired a professional that helped me with my message to be able to make it evenly all across my social media platforms, evenly in my brand, separated specifically my individual brand with my business brand. So I really created what I wanted to make it once we come back, or how I wanted to promote my business was once we come back, either to the real world or adapting to the virtual world now. So created new content. That was very important. And once you create that, just keep writing it down, because the next thing in the D is to develop. So you can create this content that you can develop into passive income. So for example, I used to have workshops that I had once a quarter with my followers. Now what I did is I created one time a video, and this is for each of my quarters. And now I can sell the subscription with the workbook that people can pay a monthly payment on. And it's passive income because they can do the work on their own time and I don't have to be there. So I created a passive income. Now, a lot of people do that, but you got to understand that was something that, because of my perfectionist, I wanted people to just be with Rosie. But by adapting, creating, and development, now I don't only have people in the Tampa Bay area, which it was also my niche. My niche was only Tampa. Well, remember, I'm originally from Ecuador. There's people in Ecuador that follow me now, internationally, in Europe and Ecuador and Spain, all those other countries. So the internet actually opened an even larger opportunity for me to continue to provide my services. And the last thing on the quarantine is to collaborate. Let me tell you something. We are all in this together. Michael and I were talking about, we are all Americans. I love his flag in the back, but we are all business owners. And the only way that we are going to stay in business is if we collaborate with each other. So, you know, having a sphere of influence. So I have a friend of mine that is doing my videos. He taught my husband how to shoot from our home, by telling him what to do. So my husband is the one that videotapes my YouTube videos. Then he sends it to him. He edits it, and then it's uploaded in my YouTube. So my YouTube now is consistent. I have an administrative assistant. Now she knows that if I have my sponsors and my other friends, they'll be able to, I have a picture with all of their logos in there with a hyperlink to their website. I know that's value, and because I have long-lasting relationships with these people, I want to make sure that they succeed. It's unfortunately, but many of us are not going to be here as business owners in 6 months or a year. But whoever is going to stay here is those people that they're going to collaborate with each other. And it's not all about you. I mean, there's an inspiring story about this gentleman that owned a restaurant, but I believe his restaurant was only an Italian food. But then the county started hiring his services to provide food for the senior population. So they were tired of having Italian every day. So he talked to the Mexican restaurant down the road, and he talked to the other restaurant down the road. So this whole collaboration project involved, I believe it was 5 restaurants and 14 employees that these people did not have to laid off. So it's all about building those relations, adapting, create, develop, and collaborate. And then go ahead, Michael, with my last thing. I want to encourage you. These are things that you can do that it does not cost you any money, but it means a lot to business owners. And you can do it at your own time. And again, it does not cost you any money. If you have friends that have business owners, you have your own, don't send your business link or your business page to them. Start looking into their business page and like their business page. Share images. If the businesses or the services that they offer, you know that somebody else can use, tag that person with those business owners, okay? React to their posts, emojis, hearts. Those things are very important. Comments, you know, just make those comments, wish them well. Subscribe to their YouTube channels. That's very important, because right now YouTube is very important, and that's content that if you as a business owners are not creating your content in Facebook and YouTube, is something that you need to create, because people are willing to pay for your knowledge. But also, once you subscribe, watch a couple of videos, because that will help out their ratings too. But these are tips that does not cost you any money to do. And one of the most important ones, do Google reviews, do LinkedIn reviews, ask for people to do reviews, especially if you have done business. We have now the time to do it. We are in front of a computer, so just put that in your calendar and get it done. And my last slide, I believe it is just all my social media platforms. So you can find me in Rosie Paulson across the board. But the Where is Rosie, I'm gonna say really quick, it was one of those things that I wanted to prove what social media did for businesses. And once I became a little bit dangerous, I needed to find out how I was gonna keep track of my social media improvement. So I created the Where is Rosie, because somebody says, hey, where is Rosie gonna be today? And that's how I created the Where is Rosie movement, which is all my followers trying to keep up with me and where I'm going to be. But it features events in the community and things that you can do and get involved. That's about all I have for my presentation. I love the Q&A questions now.
Yeah, Rosie, thank you so much. Great job. I really appreciate you sharing the knowledge and experience that you have firsthand. It's coming directly from an entrepreneur to other entrepreneurs, and I think that's what makes it so real and helps make it stick for all of us. So yes, as we move through the Q&A portion of the webinar now, I encourage you to submit those through the chat system, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask them by the audio, that's fine too. We did have a question come through from Dan Mitchell. How do I encourage my customers to leave a review, how to leave a review on Google?
You know, Dan, if it's somebody that you have a long-lasting relationship for, pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, can you do this for me? Ask for help. Right now, everyone wants to help business owners. So even if you probably have to kind of say, hey, can you, because I'm going to tell you why I don't write reviews. Maybe ask them, is there something that I can send you that you can use it on your own? Because sometimes my Spanglish kind of limits me on the reviews I want to do. But if you call me and you put it on a blurb and email it to me, and it's right there when I can just copy and paste, why I will not do that for you? So that's thinking outside the box, but I will do it if you send it to me. And then type the links. So all I have to do is copy and paste and have the links on all of them. I did that for somebody recently, and I did it on her LinkedIn page and her Google and her Facebook page, and all of them were in the same place. So I didn't have to go chasing and looking for stuff. Hope that helps.
So it sounds like you got to make it easy, Rosie, right?
Make it simple. Make it K-I-S-S, right? Keep it simple. No, I don't want to say that word, but keep it simple. That's what it is.
Good, good. So Rosie, talk about how you came up with the Where's Rosie? It's very catchy, and you know, I followed your story for quite a while now, so I know that you didn't have it previously. So how has the Where's Rosie helped you with your business?
Well, really, it has given me visibility and brand knowledge. So again, like I mentioned, I became a little bit dangerous with social media. I don't consider myself an expert in social media. I'm not a social media manager, but I took a school, a virtual school. It was the best $500 I spent in my whole career and for my business. And it was a 2-payment thingy. But that school is no longer, actually Agora Pulse bought that school. And it was a virtual school. And I went through the system, and I became, through the program, and I became a little dangerous. But because I wanted to prove that Facebook doesn't work or social media doesn't work for business, I kept saying to myself, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it. So because I go to a lot of events, everybody started seeing my visibility at the events. So they all started calling me to find out what event I was going to go. And somebody mentioned, where is Rosie going to be today? So that's when I said, okay, let me start using the tag. Everything that I open with, where is Rosie? Where is Rosie? And literally within 2 months, people were coming to me at events screaming, where's Rosie? Where's Rosie? So I knew that was working. And it was not really for selling. It was not the selling. It was a double thing. I was providing services for the people that was providing the platform, so the event, and then I was taking my followers and tell them, hey, I'm gonna be here. And that's what I come up with, the idea of the hashtag I found Rosie. So once you find me, we take a picture of it and you hashtag it I found Rosie, and it just has become this phenomenal. But it was just, again, just a way of visibility, connecting. And when people tag the I found Rosie, guess what? I'm being exposed to other social media followers too, right? So it was just, again, it has not, the money comes after people get to know me, and then I funnel them, and then I take them into my services. But that's where Rosie came about, is just to be like that funnel to bring them in.
Yeah, it's very, very catchy. Thank you for explaining that. So it looks like we did have on the chat another question come through. Are there any challenges doing business with Ecuadorian in Ecuador?
Well, Ecuador is hit really, really bad. And I tell you something that I learned, because I did not know this, but a lot of Ecuadorians got stuck here in the United States during COVID because they were on vacation. So imagine you have saved your whole life for this vacation that it was going to only last maybe 10 days with your whole family. and now you cannot go back to your country. It has been very challenging, but the Ecuadorian Council called all these Ecuadorian leaders in Florida, which I didn't know so many, and I got asked to help out, and we have sent 22 planes back to Ecuador. There were over 21,000 people that went there. So I don't know what's going to happen with Ecuador right now, but I know that during President Obama's, Ecuador was in the list of the business not to do business with. But during this administration, the president of Ecuador right now, Lenín Moreno, for the first time in 20 years, he was invited to the White House, and they are doing some businesses with the United States. And Lenín Moreno is the first leader that was able to have a democratic transition, because Correa was his predecessor and he was the new president, and they were able to do it democratically, not with all the problems that sometimes happen. So I cannot wait. I cannot tell you what will happen with COVID, but I can tell you that if moving forward there's going to be business, it's going to be very easy to do business with Ecuador.
Yeah, and we had another great question come through that segues right into what we're talking about. So, Rosie, can you talk about tips on gaining clients outside of the U.S. that want to do business within the U.S.?
Well, I gotta tell you one thing. Be yourself. Be transparent. You know, one of the things that I was thinking is like, do I have to translate everything in Spanish for me? So my book is coming up, and it is in English, and it is going to be translated in Spanish. But for example, my workshops are not going to be translated in Spanish. Why? Because if people want to do business with the United States, they need to speak English. And the majority of my followers are bilinguals. But at the same time, they're bilingual people in Europe. They're bilingual people all over the world. So I think that COVID, what it did is actually open those lines of communications for all of us. But the stickiness or the way you're going to attract them, because, you know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And it's going to be about your message, how you're going to provoke, how you're going to present that, how you're going to project that to your paying tribe, which is not everybody. And the only way you can do that is by being yourself, being transparent, and being consistent.
Good. Any other questions for Rosie? All right, so we'll look forward to wrapping up today's webinar. I do again want to thank you, Rosie, so much for being here with us today. Really great job, really great information shared. So thank you very much.
Can I do a picture? Can we do a picture? Hold on, everybody. Can you look at the very handsome 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
There you go. You got it. Check this out on Rosie's social media. We'll be there shortly.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. So again, you know, these webinars are something we're doing every month, and we're looking for speakers from folks that are on the call today and many others that aren't, that want to share some knowledge and some information with, you know, with other business owners. I think, again, that's where FLVEC is able to add a lot of value is, you know, this is coming in directly from another business owner. What you heard today is from somebody who's in the trenches, making it happen every single day, just as you are. So let me know if you want to be a speaker. We can certainly talk about a topic and when we could get you on the schedule. Be on the lookout for additional opportunities to come to these webinars. We're going to run them on a very regular basis, and basically what we've decided to do is whenever the speaker is available is when we'll schedule the webinar. We're also now going to have up a playback catalog. So this is our third webinar. We wanted to have a few under our belt, but we will have a playback catalog so you can share or rewatch Rosie's presentation along with any that you may not be able to attend live. And the last thing I like to say before we wrap up is to please stay safe, please stay healthy, and most importantly, please stay innovative in your businesses. You guys are important to not only Florida's economy, but to the U.S. economy and the world economy. So thank you for what you do, and we'll see you again on the next one.
All righty.
Thank you. Good job, Rosie.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, Michael. Bye.